but the chickens are coming in here tonight for 4 or 5 days. So I just wanted to record what it looks like right now, and we'll record kind of what it looks daily as the chickens work through it. So I planted buckwheat in here as a cover crop, kind of as cheap chicken feed slash really curious what they're going to do with it once we turn them loose. So there's the buckwheat. That's good. That's knee height, and it's starting to blossom. So there's some good chicken feed for them. Pretty sure that squash plant's not going to last. I'm not even sure what kind it is. And the tomatoes probably going to get knocked out as well. And here's what's left of the compost pile. There's still quite a bit there, but we've put a lot on the garden. And then over here is one of the cave beans that came up from the compost that we've just let go. So I think some of that's going to survive because it's been in here before when the chickens have been in here, but I think they're probably going to eat quite a bit of that. So I'm actually just going to set the camera up in here, I think, as we turn the chickens loose to kind of document what they do once they're turned loose in here. So it looks like digging in the compost wins out over the buckwheat. They get lots of greens when they're out in the tractor. They don't get to peck through a big pile of dirt as much. So I think that getting a good dust bath in here and picking through this compost is priority number one for them. Good evening. This is the end of the first day of the chickens in the chicken run, and I just wanted to show you the difference between yesterday and today. So we had a mound of compost, which is now spread everywhere. The tomato plant has been consumed for the most part. And over there had been buckwheat that was about 2 feet tall. Now it seems like they're more scratching at the base of the buckwheat and knocking it over. They're eating some of it. One way or another, it's either going to be eaten and made into chicken manure, or it's going to be knocked down, mixed with the compost, scratched on to be broken apart and go into the compost. So one way or another, it's going back onto the garden. So it's doing its job. I do believe chickens are coming out of here in a few days. I'll mound the compost back up, and I'm probably going to replant buckwheat. So that just seems like a good way to either create more biomass for composting and also some reasonably cheap chicken feed. So that's what we got going on. So far, they have not gone after the leaves on the bush or the pole bean here that volunteered and is growing. We'll see after a couple days. But they started here, spreading out the compost and pecking through that, worked over to there and are knocking down all the buckwheat. And I'm not sure if maybe later they will end up over here. All right, good evening. It's the chickens' 4th and final day in the stationary run. I think they know we're getting ready to move them. Wanted to show you what things look like now in comparison with day 1. compost pile completely flattened. For whatever reason, there's like 2 sticks of buckwheat that they haven't completely knocked over, but all of that's been knocked down and kind of scratched up, and they've eaten some of the leaves. I think they've pecked at some of the, yeah, they've eaten some of the leaves from the pole beans, but a lot of them they've left alone. And now it's time to go back out on grass for a while.